Henchpools or Deadpooloids in Marvel Contest of Champions. Rare champions coming this month, dropping next week. What's this all about? If you go into game at the moment, you've probably seen Henchpools or Deadpooloids. For a lot of people like myself that are, old school with MCOC, many years, if you go into Deadpoolizza, you'll likely see these Henchpools right here. These are not Henchpools, they're Deadpooloids, or they used to be functioning as Deadpooloids. They made a brief, you may remember them from a very, not Saga orientated, but Incursions. And this particular Incursion, not this one, sorry, I got hiccups. That's where Deadpooloids, they were Deadpooloids were. These champions have different types of other champions, SP1s, SP2s, and basic moveset. So let's put an example. Like on screen right now, you can see his just Deadpooloids is just going to try and do some damage to Joe Fixit, but mainly throw the SP1, which should be Ant-Man's. There is Ant-Man's SP1. And they have different varying types of them depending on the classes of them. To get these particular champions, there is going to be a more... It's not difficult, it's an unusual method of obtaining a hunt, if you will, a treasure hunt. If you go to Spiral's Royal Hunts info, based on what Kabams say, that they put right here, 2-star Henchpools, there are 6 classes to collect and only one way to hunt them down. These chaotic yet charming trophy champions, are they mighty? We shall see. It is the bragging rights they provide which cannot be denied as a trophy. I'll kind of go with they are trophy champions. That's probably it. These particular champions, if you go into your champion section in game right now, all this kicks off next week, the 13th of November. If you go into your champion section right now, you sort by your 2 stars, you then sort by unowned, then you will see them appear. They're right there under H. They have different varying types of signature abilities. Cat Murdoch did a fantastic infographic a long time ago, and I wanted to check off against that what it was in terms of the abilities. Are they the same? Are they different? Also, put in the comments, will you be going out to... Well, you'll have to get these, to be honest. I can imagine you'll get them, and also you get your tickets at the same time. Remember, 30 banquet tickets are on offer in that, providing you're Thronebreaker and higher. So we're going to be comparing them off in game. We're going to go in, I don't know what order, probably Mutant. We start off with Mutant, so let's kind of like go with that one. So what we saw Mutant-wise in that particular little bit of footage right there was, of course, Ant-Man in operation. Ant-Man's SP1, and its SP2 is Deadpool's SP1. His basic attacks are that of Luke Cage, which is very interesting. The champion has special attack, signature ability. Special attacks are unblockable if the opponent is over 75 to 44% health. Not sure how that works, but we'll read in a minute. Trigger a regen 8% to 12% HP lost every time. 20% HP is lost. Special attacks 100% chance to inflict an armor break. So is it the same in game at the moment? Going into game, you can see here it says that the signature ability is enhances empowered genetics, allows special attacks to become unblockable as long as the opponent is above 75 to 48.46% health. And that is pretty much there. There's a bit of a change when it comes to 44, which you can see it says 44 at the lowest, and it says 48 there at the lowest, 48.46. Now, that's probably a higher signature. Maybe the higher the signature, it will reflect 44% if it goes lower. So I'll assume that's probably the case. The next part is triggering a regen 8% to 12%. It says that each time, blah, 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 recovering X amount. It's a number associated with it. So that may be a change, or it may be like just a calculation element that Cat did at the time. I don't know. I don't want to guess these things. The final thing has changed. In game, as you can see on screen right now, it says on activation, gain a 28% prowess buff for 15 seconds. That used to be a chance of inflicting an armor break with nothing really attached to it on a time frame. Maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. So that looks to have changed. So we're going to move on. We're going to move to the left. We're going to move to the skill aspect, which is the SP1 of War Machine. The SP2 is the SP1 of Elektra, and the basics are Deadpool. So what the champion has, the skill Deadpooloid, is chance to temporarily recover all health when near death. Cool. 40% chance to inflict a permanent bleed debuff on SP1. And the SP2 was a chance to inflict a permanent bleed debuff on that. Let's go back into game, going into the skill Henchpool and have a look at the abilities. It looks like there's a Purify there, which I think is going to be very, very good. We'll see how that integrates. So, when death looms, get regeneration. That's pretty much there. You can see that. The always active is an addition. So there's a buff here. 58% chance to purify incoming weakness, fatigue, exhaust, armor break, etc. debuffs after 1.5 seconds. That's really handy. I think more so for new players. If you're really new to the game and you're picking up 2 stars, then this could be really good to see through some content. However, though, a lot of the time new players get access to things like 6 stars and in some cases 7 stars, not exactly. Mr. Sinister was on offer for free players recently, so I'm not sure you're really going to need these because they're kind of trophy champions. Anyway, the SP1 inflicts a bleed, and then with the SP2 inflicts a bleed, so that's good as well. We'll move on now to the tech side of things. So from a tech perspective, we have the SP2 is the SP1 of the tech Henchpool. The SP2 is the SP2 of War Machine. The basic attacks are Hulkbusters. The abilities are every 10 seconds apply a permanent armor break, begins fight with 25 armor up buffs, armor is lost when struck, burn up to 50 to 93% of the opponent's power. That actually is quite nice. Max power inflicting direct damage proportionate to the amount lost. That is some serious Vision vibes right there, because obviously Vision does a lot of power controlling and it's nice and tasty. I do actually quite like my OG Vision, who's a 6-star, and I do want a 200. I do want to I want to rank it up, at least a rank 4, like really strong power control option, an alternative power control option. So when it comes to the signature ability of the tech Henchpool, he has in game. Resonating waves, weakness opponent's armor up every 10 seconds. So yeah, it's armor break off the signature ability. Good. Okay, nice. The always active though is a nerf. Starts the fight with 10 armor ups, each increasing armor rating. Now that's 10. That's not 25. So there's been a slight nerf there. The special attack though, again another nerf. Burns up to 20% of the target's max power and inflicts direct damage proportionate to the amount lost. Now, is that when you rank up further that he gets more with it? I can't remember. I'm going to go with no. But let's just say that it's not the case. Ooh, that's not too good. But as I said, these could be trophy champions that you're never going to use. So let's kind of treat it like that. This is just an observation rather than a reaction of going, oh no. Oh no! Okay, SP1 of the Cosmic Deadpooloid, Henchpool, is the SP1 of Gwenpool. Gwen Stacy, Spider-Gwen. SP2 is Black Widow, and that's the standard one, the OG one, and the basics are Iron Fist. The abilities. Signature ability attacks ignore 16 to 96% of the opponent's armor. That's pretty darn meaty. I'd love that on any other champion. Armor break immune, handy, but again, would you take this into like difficult content? Not sure. It's a 2-star. Every 8 seconds gains permanent fury buffs. SP1 gains 2 random buffs, and the SP2 gains 3 random buffs. Let's have a look at that in game and see if it marries up. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. Okay. Henchpool, Cosmic, and yes, armor break immunity is there. The signature ability is allowing them to rip through opponents passively, reduce the armor rating by 16 to 85% of that. Okay, that is a nerf. Just slightly though, because the top end is not 96. The top end here is 85. But could that be increased? Maybe with extra signatures, you will find that increased any further. Or I think, that's something that shows the max range of what you can get. So I'll go with that for the time being. Unless rank applies. Oh, I'm thinking of too many layers to this. There's no point. It just looks like there's been some slight changes. There have been some slight changes here and there. There is every 8 seconds. Yep, there's that there with the always active. SP1, gain 2 random buffs. Yes, for 10 seconds. And the SP2, again, 3 buffs. So that's fine. We're now going to conclude the video very quickly on the Mystic side of things. For the Mystic champion, oh no, we've got 2 more to do. I'll try and do these as quickly as possible. Mystic, SP2 is the SP1. That's annoying, but hey, it is what it is. SP2 is Doctor Strange and the basics of Doctor Strange as well. Recover 3 to 13% HP for every time a buff is stolen. 80 to 100% chance to steal an opponent's fury. Armor up, regen, cruelty, precision, physical resistance. Passively gain a bar of power over time. Reduced power combat rate, which I think is similar to Doctor Strange in himself. Not completely, but you know what I mean when I'm getting a lot of power. The champion itself, when personal buff activates, also passively gain X amount of health. Yeah, when a personal buff activates, also passively gain. That's different. So that's, rather than it being every time a buff is stolen, it's when a personal buff activates. So a personal buff on the champion itself, I don't know, maybe it's worded wrong. Not 100% sure. We'll have to kind of like find out when that goes into the game. There's now a generates 3.33% of a bar of power. No, that's passively gain a bar of power. So that is very much that right there. Then you've got 20% potency, fury, precision, cruelty, armor up, and physical resistance. Regeneration grants X amount. All buffs last 10 seconds. Nothing about, stealing a buff. And those are personal, but these are personal buffs on you as well that you get, as it says with the signature, when a personal buff activates. And then a 80% chance to nullify the opponent's armor up, regeneration, cruelty, blah, 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 blah. When these are nullified, gain the same buff with the listed potency and duration. So maybe that's plays into what more extra damage he can do based on, and also recovery of health. That's very much like old school Doctor Strange. So for those that don't know old school Doctor Strange, this is how Doctor Strange worked. You literally would nullify a buff on the enemy or steal it or whatever, and you would just like recoup back more regeneration. You'd be invincible, for those that don't know. Anyway, we move on to the final one. I've got to quickly examine this before we end the video, and that is here. The science one is SP1 of Rhino, SP2 of Joe Fixit, and the basics are Spider-Man. You apply a permanent poison debuff on the signature, gain and lose permanent physical resist passive periodically. Lights have a 20% chance, 25% chance to apply exhaust debuffs, and poison immune. So quickly just getting into game right now. It's going to be cool to play with a champion that's got, well, what is it, like shouts, underwear like that. Yeah, okay, toxic fumes in the air, do a poison debuff, yep, okay. Not sure about the timing of that, but the power chance to inflict the poison debuff seems to be higher, but I don't know if it's overly mentioned against the it's not mentioned over the signature ability. Yeah, immune to poison. Every 6 seconds, the champion, it gains an indefinite 147.83 physical resistance passive. Okay. And then we've got 20% inflict a physical vulnerability debuff. Some things have been changed and altered. The light attacks is a physical resistance debuff. The one that was on there before is a, well, maybe it is an exhaust debuff, but it was like back in the day was under a different name. Now it's a physical vulnerability. Used to be exhaust then. Yeah. Okay, in a nutshell, some have changed, some haven't. That's going to be it for the video. I didn't want to make this too long. It looks like it's gone longer than I wanted to. What are your thoughts on some of these champions? Will you be looking to get them? Do you actually care that are they going to make a difference? Are they not going to make a difference? I don't think they're going to make a huge amount of difference, but it would be a nice trophy champion to get because they've been in the game for a long time. I guess the next thing will be things like Doom bots or other things, because we have the Summon Symbiote. We've now got the Henchpools. We'll probably have them in the future as well, or Ultron bots of some description, although they look like the standard OG Ultron, so I doubt it, but we'll see what happens. That's been it for the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. Have a lovely day, and goodbye for now.